building or have built.
Mhm.
That's the first step that we have built now. There's more steps hopefully coming, but our first phase is done, which is amazing. And we thought we want to share this with friends, family, people that we know, also because we would like to partner with some people and would like to get help to sell it, by creating partners that get paid by commission. So that's why we have this call also to introduce the software, the solution to you guys, but also maybe create an opportunity for you guys to become partners with us. We will have an extra call for that too, and I will be the person that you can talk to. You can write me after this meeting, and connect with me if that would be something that you would like to do. But yeah, for now, it's just introducing it, letting you know a little bit what this is about, if this is even something that you're interested in helping us. Maybe you could use it yourself. Maybe it's something that your neighbor could use. Maybe it's something that your boss could use. I don't know. But we just thought we share it with people around us and see what you guys think. Maybe you guys even have some extra notes or some ideas or some things on your heart that you want to share with us. So yeah, that's why this call is here, or what it's for. And yeah, I think we just should go into it and
Yeah,
show the whole system to you guys.
cool. Thank you very much for the introduction. Yeah, as regards the partnership, it works in this way that whoever is interested in partnering with us in the sense of selling it further to other clients would have another call for them, like my wife said. And she's like the point person for every partner, in case there's any question or whatever. And how that works is this, that each partner or each selling partner will get like a what do you call, like a voucher code. And this voucher code is attached to your details or to your name with us. And this voucher code is what you give to whoever you're recommending to come try out the software. And if they use this voucher code, they get 10% off their first year, but you get a percentage of their subscription as long as they remains like subscribed. So it's not just a one-time thing. As long as they stay connected and are paying yearly, you get your commission yearly. So you're like the point person for that customer. You check up on the customer to know how it's going, if they're enjoying the software, if there are some functionalities that they will have to have or they need additional stuff. You get the info and then you just pass it on to us while we work behind the scenes to improve the software, so whoever wants to be a partner is like a point person for whoever they recommend. So it's a long-term thing in that sense, that whoever you bring in is connected to you for as long as they stay with
Yeah.
us. So
The
it's a
cool
long-term,
thing,
yeah.
sorry. The cool thing about this whole project is also that we have it now in three different languages. So we have it in
Hmm.
English, we have it in French, and we have it in German. So it is interesting for all those markets. Um,
Hmm.
and that's why we have a bunch of different people,
Yeah,
because it's interesting for wherever you are, wherever you're staying, you can make contacts there. It doesn't really matter which country, which is really
yeah,
cool, which makes this software really cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like, how it works, but not really much into details. So whoever wants to be like a partner or a seller, there'll be a different Zoom meeting for that where I go more into details because it's good that you as a seller know the product, that you know the
Yeah.
product, because you'll be the one to introduce it to the person you're selling it to. And if they have issues, they could call you or write you and ask you, because you're basically earning from their subscription. So you're like kind of responsible for them in a sense, like contacting them,
Yeah.
helping them. But when it gets too complicated, of course, you can just reach out to us and we can take care of like complicated technical stuff that we can do. But like the basic usage, how it functions, like the back
What it
end,
does.
what it does, like the things you need to be able to sell the software, not just that, to be able to offer support from time to time. We'll have a different video or Zoom call for that. So right now I'm going to jump into um, the software. Hopefully you can see it from whatever device you're connecting with. Um, all right. So you just let me know if you can see what I'm sharing. All right. I see you, Felix. Can you all see the screen that I'm sharing?
Yes.
All right.
Can you bring Sister Gladys in? She's on hold.
All right. Let me just connect. Bring her in.
Yeah, we could see your screen.
All right. Cool. All right. So I'll just continue. So that's the website. That's SmartiChat. SmartiChat is an AI powered chat system. And basically the AI behind SmartiChat is GPT-4. So the idea is to use GPT's smartness or intelligence to understand customer requests and then respond based on the data that the chat has been fed with. So every company will have their backend system where they can feed it data. And then GPT goes through the data and knows how to respond to customer queries. Now, the cool thing about the GPT API or the GPT platform is that it can do incredible stuff just based on whatever your software wants to do. So it could go from just the normal customer service answering questions to call in very complex functionalities, like password reset, order tracking, um, just different stuff, like different use cases for companies. But at its base or at its standard form, it's just a AI-powered customer service tool that responds to clients or inquiries by itself. And when it gets complicated, it connects to like a real-time customer agent. And the question is why the GPT platform? Because right now it's the most advanced language model in the market. It's the smartest right now. It understands any language you write in. So it doesn't matter how you ask the question, it's smart enough to know how to answer, but it will only respond based on the data it's been fed in that sense. All right. Please, if you're not speaking right now, can you please put your microphones on mute so we don't have a lot of background noise coming in? Thank you very much. So that's it. And my wife mentioned that before we have 3 languages. We have French, German, and English. So this is applicable to both the American, the UK, the European market. At some point we'll expand to Italian, Spanish, and so on. But all that takes is just a translation. The tool functions and works for whatever language we integrate it to. Right now we just have the 3 translations, and further translations will be added in the future based on the need. And so that's it. We have the 6 selling points that we offer. We have the AI powered I mentioned, with GPT. We have customized and trained, which means it's trained with the company's data. There's a chat transfer, which means that when it gets too complicated or if it's a very sensitive data question, with data shoots and stuff, or how you call it, privacy, Europe is very big in that. So if it's something that cannot be shared over just a normal chat, it connects to a real person. You have the ticket system. There are people who might actually call to or go on the chat to just mention the problem that they're having. So the person behind the scene or the customer agent could create a ticket to be able to track the problem solving. So when it's done, the customer would get like a notification that the stuff is solved. That way they can track complaints or chat history and so on. And then we have the EU survey. It's very important because most European companies want to know where their data is being stored. Now, SmartiChat does not store the data in GPT because GPT is not in it's not in Europe. The server is not here, so it doesn't store it there. Everything is sent real time. So for GPT to actually have a context of the previous chat, we have to send the previous chat with the current chat. So it knows, oh, this came before, and now this is coming now. So it doesn't know by itself based on stored data, because we do not allow it to store data. It's very important that all the data stays with us or stays in the European Union. And that's why that's a very important point to mention, especially for German companies or European companies, that the data is hosted here. You have GDPR compliant. In German, if I switch to German, it'll be DSGVO. And that has to do with Datenschutz. That we follow the process of like the privacy policy, that privacy is not infringed on, data is stored properly, permissions are asked before data is stored, all this stuff. It's very important for software that is in the EU. Like the EU policies are quite strict in comparison to the UK or to the US. So that's why this is very important to mention as a selling point. Some of the points that we have is, of course, why AI chat? Now we're in the season or in the phase of a lot of AI buzz. Everybody's just saying AI everywhere, and there's a reason for that. Customer service and customer satisfaction is at the peak of a good, successful business. Because if your customers are not happy, they don't stay. Most customers are willing to pay, even when it's quite expensive, as long as they feel heard. They feel like when they need help, there's someone there to help. They feel valued. A lot of times we go to like very expensive restaurants, not because the food is the best. People just come out saying, man, the customer service is like top notch. So customer service is quite huge. And it doesn't matter how good a food tastes, you might not go back to a place because it was just terrible. The people there were terrible. So basically, we're taking customer service up a notch in the sense that the customer can always get their questions answered because there's an AI behind the scene to answer every question, never gets sick, doesn't go on holidays. It's just there to answer questions because it's been trained to do so. So that way it saves company time because a lot of companies don't have the time to just answer miscellaneous questions or simple questions that an AI can memorize and just spit out back to you. So you save time, you save money, you save cost. So that's like selling point for the companies. So the workers can focus on just real work, while the AI takes off, the stuff. And then whatever is transferred to like a customer agent or a worker has to be very important. Okay, it's time for conversion. Something is really happening for real that I can take over. So we have rund um die Uhr Kundenservice, we have efficient and quick reaction. Because it's an AI tool, you can fit it with any data. It doesn't forget anything. So whatever you tell it to do or whatever you fit it with, it remembers and knows how to respond to that customer. And it knows how to actually formulate the answer that it sounds quite realistic. And that's the reason for the GPT model behind it. The response is quite good. And then I already mentioned like the ticket system and the problem solving. What's the vision? Our vision, I mean, since I'm doing this in English, instead of reading it in German, I'm just going to switch back to English and just read it in English. Or you can always go to the German version and just read it also to comprehend it more, or French, whatever language you're comfortable with. Our vision of SmartiChat is to fundamentally change the way organizations communicate with their customers. We strive to create a world where AI-powered assistants are the first point of contact for all customers' inquiries and help customers worldwide to provide first-class and personalized customer service. Our goal is to set the standard in customer service through innovation. And then our mission is to help companies take their customer service to the next level by using advanced AI technologies. We offer solutions that optimize communication between companies and their customers. We do everything we can to increase efficiency and satisfaction. Efficiency and satisfaction, like those keywords are very important when you're selling to a company. efficiency, satisfaction, optimize communication. Those things help you. They help you to know what to or how to sell. So you could take some time after this or whenever you have time to go through the website and just get some keywords that you could use when you find somebody that could be interested in the software. So we do everything we can to increase efficiency and satisfaction in customer interactions while reducing the workload of your support teams. That's the main vision behind an AI-powered chatbot or chat system to reduce the workload. I mentioned all this before, 24/7. And then we have how it works. I tried so hard to make it as simple as possible. Not everybody here has IT backgrounds. And also the people that you will talk to, the companies, might also not be very IT savvy. So you don't want to make it sound complicated. It should be easy to understand and to know that the implementation, it's not the most complicated thing. We do the complicated work behind the scene, so the companies get to do the easy one. So basically, you send an inquiry. If you want to use SmartiChat, you send an inquiry. We make like the installation for you, and then we just feed the software your data. It's called installation and training. And then, we send you a link that you can integrate on your website. It's just a snippet, a link that you can just place on your website. And then, the icon appears like it appears on my website here. When I click on the bot, you can see, it's over here. 1 second. Let me move this away. So that's the icon there. Right now, the greeting is in English because I'm on the English version of the website. Every time I switch to another language, you get a snippet. So we have like if you want like the multilingual function of SmartiChat, then you get a snippet for each language, French, German, and that you can embed into your website and it's ready for you. So for the customer, it's not complicated to place on the website. It's not complicated. A lot of us know about cookie banners on websites. The same way you can embed like a cookie banner, that's how you can embed a chatbot in that sense. And now we come to the subscription plans. And I want to go through this before I go through the software itself, so you know the info before you see the software. And we have 3 plans. You have the startup, and it's basically for small companies or companies that don't have much employees or not much budget at the beginning, but they want to go into this and they want to try it out. So you have the startup. And for each package, there's a 14-day trial. So within that 14 days, you could cancel the contract or the trial. You don't have to pay for that. So these are the list of things that are available. You have the 59 euro per month plan for the startup, and you have one admin access. It just means that in the back end, only one person can log in. So only one support agent can log in. This is best for companies that want to try out the software and see they like it, and then they could upgrade to another plan. You have a one language of your choice, so you don't have the option of multilingual, like to have the snippet of code in French, German, or whatever. You can just choose one language and we give you like a code for it, like the snippet for it to embed on your website. You have the AI training and the version we're using, the GPT version is the 4.0 or the 4.0. It's the latest model right now. And then you have 2,000 AI responses. So basically, customers can just write and ask questions. And for this plan, you have 2,000 AI responses. So once your AI has responded up to 2,000 times, depends on how people ask questions, then your AI response will stop. You can still connect as a person and talk to your customers, but then the AI part will be disconnected. So the customer should know. But before they're disconnected, they'll get an email notification saying, hey, your AI response is about to expire. Consider upgrading, or just know that,
A month? A year?
sorry,
Is it a month or a year?
the subscription?
No, the responses.
Oh, per
Important
month.
to know.
That's why the price is per month, but thank you for asking. So it's 2,000 AI responses per month. So of course it expires if you've used up all your responses for a month, you can wait till the next month and then you have it again, or you could upgrade. 1 second. I think the people that are waiting in the waiting room, let me just let them in.
The reason I seen. That's why I'm sitting by myself.
1 second. Let me just let some people in. All right, I think everyone is in right now. Okay. Afterwards, I can let you guys ask questions that you have. I'm just trying to go through it, present the whole thing. You feel free to ask questions afterwards. And then you have customized colors. Right now, you see the blue color down there. For some companies, they could use other colors. It could be red, black. You have the option, of customizing the colors to fit the company brand. And then you have email support. Now, there are other stuff that could be offered, but as you can see, there's a cancel icon close to the rest of the options. It means that they're not available for this plan, for the startup plan. So based on the plan you're on, you have access to more stuff. You have AI action buttons for the next plan and company logo. So they could decide that they don't want to have the SmartiChat logo on the chat widget. We could change that. And AI button actions, I will show you what that means or what that looks like. You just have it in mind, AI button actions are available. And then the rest are not available for this plan, and it costs 159 euros per month. And then the last one is the enterprise, and everything is available, including custom functionalities, but the price will be on request. So the companies will have to contact us, will have to know what they want. So based on whatever we offer them, we can decide on how much that costs in that sense. So like the API calling functionality, this is where if you read under here, it says use cases include but are not limited to password reset, account deactivation, order tracking, order placement, offer request, invoice inspection, and so on. Like there are a lot of things that you could do when you have the API calling functionality. For those that don't know what API means, API simply stands for application programming interface. It's a very fancy word to say URL. Actually, it's a web URL that can be called, but it's not a normal URL. You call this URL and something happens behind the scenes. So most softwares, they communicate with each other using like a web URL. And once you call this URL, things can happen like password reset, order tracking, and so on. And SmartiChat has the smartness or the functionality to be able to call these URLs in that sense. So these are other stuff that could be offered to customers that want something more custom in that sense. And then we have future coming functionalities that are not yet there. For example, we have the internal messaging portal. So basically, this will enable employees in the same company to just talk with each other within the software without having to send emails or whatever. They can just talk, communicate. In case somebody has a customer that has a question and they don't really know the answer, they could easily just write to another person to get the answer. So like internal messaging. And then you have WhatsApp integration, which is very important because a lot of companies have like business WhatsApp accounts, and that will be linked to SmartiChat so it could receive the messages from WhatsApp. And also Instagram, the same thing via connection. And then you have the email integration, which means that there's a AI tool that will respond to your emails. You have appointment booking, audio and video calls, screen sharing. Now all this other stuff, they're coming in the future. They're not there yet. Or to let the customer know what to expect as regards functionalities. And as regards, yes?
Or if there would be a customer that is interested in that
Yeah.
and wants to have the enterprise
Plan. Yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
there can be always a conversation or a talk with them, building that for that company also.
That's
So
correct.
there's possibility to add those future functionalities into
Mhm.
their enterprise plan.
Thank you for the addition. Yes, that's true. And the price is billed yearly, not monthly. Although it's written here monthly, as you can see, under each plan, there's a text that says billed annually. So every plan is billed annually. And one of the things that you could encounter with some companies for them, this money is like nothing. They can pay this like in their sleep. It's nothing. But for some other companies, they might say, why so much? Why does it cost so much? And they are the ones that offer it for cheaper. Now, one of the main reasons why this is at this price is because, first of all, we have the GPT integration. It's the best tool in the market, but it costs money to use the GPT API to understand messages. So already a part of that sum is going to pay for the GPT, subscription, and then plus the other services that we offer. And I've also done some research in the market. There are other companies offering GPT-powered chat solutions, but compared to them, our price is the most affordable for sure. So they should know what they're comparing, not just take SmartiChat and compare it to every AI-powered chatbot, because not every AI-powered chatbot is linked to GPT, and they're not all smart. Actually, tried one chatbot from Amazon. They also
It's dumb.
integrating integrating AI, in their system. And I was so frustrated with the chatbot because it was like the dumbest chatbot I've ever spoken to. But they rather create something of their own and train it gradually than link to GPT because they don't want to pay GPT. They want to build their own in-house stuff. But the disadvantage is that it's not yet as smart as GPT already on the model. So for the price, we've made it quite affordable for what we are offering. And a customer always has the option of getting 10% off their first year. So that's also like an incentive for them to, you know, want to, join, but it's not meant for everyone. Okay. So you can try to sell to people that you feel it's meant for and offer them some incentives, but there's a reason why the price is at that rate. And for some, it's no problem, but for some, it could be a problem. Just have that in mind in case you have to argue as regards why it costs this much. Because price is always an issue, especially when it comes to um, connecting with the new software in that sense. And now I'm just going to show you SmartiChat and less talking. Just let me know if you can see the chat window right now that I just opened, if you can see it clearly. You can just indicate, by a wave or
You could move up. You could move your screen to the other side of the screen so that we could see it well. Like
I
your
could move my
yep, your
screen.
yeah.
1 second. I mean, my screen is on like, I don't know if I can move it
It
from
should
where
be
it
on
is
the
right
left.
now.
Uh, It should be on the left side because
The
it's
issue
right
is
now on the
if
right
you are
side.
watching from your phone, it might be a challenge because those of
Yeah,
us watching with our computer is excellent. There's no problem.
Oh,
that's
okay.
yeah, and that's
I'm connected from the phone. That's why. Okay.
so
With the
so
phone,
maybe you can just turn
sorry,
it landscape.
Yeah. Now,
you
That
can zoom it
Ebony.
in
that
with
Yes.
that
the
is
phone.
that is
No,
exactly the
just
that is
so
exactly
there are three icons on the bottom for you to switch left or right. You can still see his screen and Eben alone while he's talking. You won't see everybody but the screen. So just go underneath and scroll to the left or right. It will give you that option.
They should just
Thanks,
hold
guys.
their phone in the landscape. That's all. If you're holding
Yeah.
your phone as portrait, just flip it landscape, then you will see it perfectly.
And
True.
you
Thanks,
also can
guys.
move,
I'm good. All right.
sorry, and you can move, you can zoom into with your fingers on the phone.
Amazing. Thanks, Ruth.
You're welcome.
All right. So I hope everyone can see my screen. If you can, just give me a thumbs up or a wave or something. They can see it. All right. So that's the chat window here. We have the first text that just explains to them, excuse me, about privacy and stuff that they can read before they start. Data is collected, but the collection is explained here so they can know what they're getting into. And there are two buttons. You have the new session to start a new chat session, and you have a previous session in case you had one before and you want to continue from where you stopped in that sense. So we're just gonna start a new chat session. Just gonna say Mr. Obaika as the last name, and I'm gonna use an email, and then we'll start. So the first thing you see in the window is just a greeting that says, "Good day, Mr. Obaika. How can I help you today?" Now, this is responding in English because I'm on the English version of the website, of course. I'm going to switch and show you how it looks like. And then now we have the action buttons. I mentioned action buttons before, but the action buttons are just buttons that you can click without typing. In case your questions are related to this point, you can just click one of them. Or you can just type your message manually and you get an answer. So I'm just going to click on functionalities, and then the AI, will respond based on what you just typed in. Basically, what it just did is to explain to you the functionalities of SmartiChat in a very short and concise term. And it will ask you if the answer is okay or if you want to connect to customer service. Now, the good thing about this is that because we're in the English version of it, it only responds in English. But you could ask it the questions in French, in German, in Spanish, in Chinese, whatever you want. Because it's GPT behind it, it understands every language you ask the question in. But the response will always be in English because you're in the English version of the website. And so we can try, just ask it a random question that has nothing to do with SmartiChat. Wie geht's? The normal German, how are you question. And then it will tell you, I'm here to assist you with any questions about SmartiChat. So it's not here to tell you about how he's doing. Although he could tell you about how he's doing, but it's been trained to not do that. Because people can ask silly questions and just try stuff out, but it's been trained to just focus on SmartiChat. And then whatever you ask it as regards SmartiChat, it will answer. For example, SmartiChat plans. And then to tell you what it does, the 14-day trial, everything. Now, all this data that it's feeding you, I'm going to show you later where it gets it from. We gave it to it, and we can edit it, and we can change it, and then the bot will respond based on what we've given it. And so we could say we want to connect to a customer agent, for example, because we're tired of talking to an AI bot. A lot of people don't like it. They have to get used to it, but they could decide to connect to an AI, to a customer agent. I'll just say, talk with customer agent. And the response is very fast. I'll be happy to connect you with the record. That's the thing with the connection. It's fast. There's not a lot of crap going on behind the scenes to delay you or whatever. Whatever you want, it understands immediately and gives it back to you, tries to connect you. And here you can choose what department you want to connect with. Now the company can add as many departments as they want in the back end. It'll be displayed here. Right now I put just two, support and sales. The language is Deutsch, English, and French or Francais. But depends on what the company can speak. If they only have an English customer agent, of course, only English will show there. They have the option to add or remove languages as options. And so I'm just going to click on support, click on English, and then I will send it. And then it will respond, a staff member will join the chat room shortly. Please wait and do not close the browser window. Now, what just happened is that a support agent just got an email saying somebody is waiting to connect with them. So even though they're not logged in yet in the back end, they get an email. So they never miss someone who wants to talk to them. So they don't have to always be on the back end active 24/7. They could also be logged off or logged out and they still get an email notification saying somebody's waiting to talk to them. And I'm gonna open 1 second. All right, just gonna pull up the email and see if it's there. You guys can let me know if you can see my screen because right now I'm on the Gmail page. Can you see it?
Yeah, we could see your screen.
All right. So
Yes.
in the email you just see Mr. Obaika waits or Mr. Obaika is waiting for support from the customer representative. Now that's the kind of email that they will receive if someone is waiting. And now they could go to the back end of their AI tool. And this is how the back end looks like in that sense. Right now, I just logged in as my wife in the back end. That's why you see her photo over there and her name. And as you can see over here, there's a notification. This notification just tells you that somebody is connected. So for everyone who tries to connect, there's a notification. And below here, you'll see Mr. Obaika, and he has a status of waiting. The language is English. So the customer agent that wants to connect should know or understand English before they connect because the customer chose English. So they can see who the right person is that should connect. And you have the notification, new chat session, Mr. Obaika. And once I click that, it opens up and the customer agent has an overview of what Mr. Obaika has been talking about with the chatbot. So they know where he stopped in that sense. And once I go to the front end, you can see the picture just changed from the normal SmartChat picture to the picture of my wife at the top there. And there is a message under that says that she has just joined the chat room in that sense. So now the person knows that they're talking with a real agent, customer agent, no longer a chatbot. Once you connect to an agent, the chatbot is deactivated in between. Now the talk or the chat is now between you and a person. So whatever I write here, she gets it in the back end. Now she's speaking live with Mr. Obaika. And we go to the front end and you can see the communication has started between whoever is on the front end talking to the person on the back end. Now there are some actions that they could take when they click on this three buttons here on the chat bot. You could send a chat history to yourself. We all know about this. You want to have a history of the chat, you could send it to yourself. I'm just going to do that right now. And then it'll tell you chat history sent to your email. We're going to look at it shortly. But there are other options like rate chat session, just to rate it and see, how good it is. And then you have the end chat. That's understandable. You want to end the chat session. Now the admin has more options. If we go to the back end and we click, here you can see all the assigned chat groups assigned to you. And here you can email Mr. Obaika or create a ticket. Very important. in case they have an issue that they mentioned and you want a ticket for it, you could easily create a ticket here, for that. And then you could leave chat room or end chat, whatever. Why would you want to leave a chat room? Let's say you discover that you're not the person to answer the questions the customer has. You could decide to leave the chat room so somebody else, another agent, could connect to that room. So that's why you have the option of leaving the chat room instead of ending the chat. And that's it for the chat window for now. I think so. Yeah. And then we go on the different pages. Of course, here you have users where you can add admin users. You have the chat rooms where you can see all the active chat rooms. You have the tickets where you can see the available tickets, where you can edit them and either close them or open them, and the customer gets a notification for it in that sense. And there's a very important page that you need to see, and that's the settings. The settings is where you have the AI prompt buttons. You can create a new button just to answer questions quickly. The button has a title and then has the details and so on. You have the departments that are available to you and the languages that you speak. All this information are created by you and are fed to the chatbot. And then you have the vital data of the chatbot. The most important field is this one here, the long field. It contains text about SmartiChat, and that's how the bot knows what to answer, how to answer, what to say. That's the field where you can feed it data and it knows what to do. So this is very, very important. And then you have the opening hours and the closing hours. It tells the chatbot to know, okay, at this time, somebody's available to chat. But from this time on, there is no customer agent in that sense. And over here, you have online and offline by trigger. Once I trigger it, you see online. I trigger, it says offline. Now, if it's offline, the chatbot also knows that there's nobody to talk to at this point in time. So this is just like a short summary of what it does. When we have another call with those that are like partners, we'll go more into details so they know how to operate it. But this is how the back end looks like. And then you have the front end over there. Just going to end the chat. Now the chat is ended. And if I wanted to pull back the chat session, I could go to previous session. I could put in my email, what I used, and send. And what happens is this, I get a code. And with that code, I can log back into my previous session. So I go into the email that I used, and I just got a code that I can use in entering. So I put in the code. 1 second. I think I just put the wrong thing in. My confirmation code is here. Chatbot is here. Let's go back in here. You can all see the chat window still, right? All right. So I put the code in and I send. And I'm back to where I stopped. Welcome back, Mr. Obaika. So it knows that you're coming back based on how you enter into the chat session. So now these are the basic functionalities that it has right now. And like I said before, there are other stuff that could be added in the future. But it was very important that we started with the first product, get some feedback, and then build on that. I'm going to end the chat and then just go in French. Now the greeting you can see over here is in French. Everything on the chat window is in French. If I go back to a previous chat session, The email is in French. Every notification that I get right now is in the language that is activated on the website. I go back and I put the code in, I log in, and even the GPT, the greeting changes from English to French because I'm on the French version. This is the same for the German version also. So basically that's like the summary of how this works. I'm just gonna leave room now for any questions as regards the software or the customers, or whatever is unclear. So feel free to just indicate or
think, honey,
you want to say something.
yeah, I think it's important also to know who this is for. So maybe I ask you, who is this for?
Okay, so basically you're asking who the software is for.
Yeah. Who
All right.
can make use of this?
Now, anyone who has customers
Or something
or
something to offer.
something to offer, like members,
Even
customers,
churches.
whatever. Yeah, that also.
Where you have questions.
Yeah. So whoever has questions, like anybody could use this as long as you have a website. It's very important to have a website because you have to put it somewhere. The chatbot has to be embedded somewhere. And secondly, you have people that are interested in knowing about what you have to offer because they always have questions. So that's applicable to like a wide range of audiences. Now, how it is customized for you will depend on what you want, what your needs are, but it's applicable to a wide range of people, companies, businesses, churches, NGOs, whatever it is. As long as you have a website and people have questions that you could answer with the chatbot, this is meant for you or for them. But thank you for the question.
Yeah, just to add on it, I think most companies have time pressure to get to their customers, and they will need some people to do like a first level support.
Yes.
And this is actually the work of first level support.
That's correct.
To categorize the ticket, as you said before,
yes.
And then either create a ticket or send it to personal, human beings that can take over where they can. Because the system is limited with the information we train it with.
That's correct.
So I think it's very, very nice. And we use something similar to this because we link our service now with Teams. So when you are in service now and some questions are open that you can't answer, you just skip from there straight. They integrated now with Teams. You start chatting with the person who opened the ticket to get the informations that are open or pending. So it helps you to boost, to satisfy the customer by closing their ticket or attending to it on real time. I think this is perfect.
Thank you very much for the addition. Before we continue, I'm just going to show you one more thing that I forgot. And it has to do with how customers could send us inquiries. Once they click on the button, like, trial or getting target custom loss testing, depends on what language they're on. Once they click on it, there's a pop-up. Here they give us the information that we need to set up the installation. So we're just going to use EJCon as the example. And then we go to the next page, and then we need the information of the person who's actually sending this form. And then we go on, and then here they choose the plan, what plan they want, startup, business, enterprise. Then they choose the primary language that they want the SmartiChat to be in. They could also decide for like a multilingual, but we want to know the primary language that the back end should be when somebody logs in that sense. So we can choose Deutsch or German. And then the question is, how did you find us? This is where they could put Freunde website and all the other options. Just going to say website, and then we go further. And this part is very important for partners. This is where they put the Gutschein code or your referral code. but we refuse to call it a referral code because it sounds very affiliate markety. So we just call it good shine code or voucher because it looks like it's a value for the customer that if they use it, they get a reduction, they get a discount. I don't know anybody that doesn't like a voucher code. We all love voucher codes. Like we love to apply them to our purchases. So the default will be to apply it. But every time they apply your code, that contract or that customer is linked to you. That's how we can track who you referred to us or who just came by themselves, in that sense. So once they fill out all this information they send, we get the information, and then we take on the contact with them to the point of installation and so on. So it's quite simple to follow. But yeah, any other questions, please, you can ask them now.
Yeah, just some clarification questions. Thanks for the presentation.
Sure.
First question, you mentioned, for example, the starter pack package for 59.
Yes.
And you said that the responses are limited to 2,000. So the question I'm having is, the count of 2,000, does it include, for example, hello, you gave an example, how are you doing, for example. The response, for example, I'm here for chatbot, startbots. Would that be the count in the responses?
Good question. Yes, it's difficult to be able to know which which questions are valid questions or not. So yeah, they're included in the chat, but most customers will not go there to ask, hello, how are you? A lot of people don't even like to even put their details in the chat bar. Like, for example, in the beginning, you have, if I end this chat session right now, you have, if you want to start, you have your what you call your gender, your title, and then you have your last name, and then you have your email. Now, if you go to the extent of giving all this information, you're not really there to ask, hello, how are you?
Sure. I just wanted to know, give an example to know what counts as
I understand
count.
what you mean. I understand what you mean. The thing is this, for every question you send to the GPT tool, we have to pay for those responses, even though they don't make sense. We have to pay for every API request. So, and we pay by tokens also. The company pays by tokens. So GPT doesn't really care how the message sounds like. It responds and then it charges in that sense. But we're able to track people who are sending rubbish questions, probably block them, or because your email is there and everything, you could block you or just contact you or whatever. But from my experience, most people who go through the effort of putting their information and connect, they're probably there for a real problem. But thank you for the question.
Second question. So we said this would be like a first level response. So if a company uses the software and they have, and for example, a situation where the customer has to contact someone on the phone. That means like a live chat. Sorry, like someone live. That means that every company has to have someone live on the phone. Is that correct?
What do you mean by on the phone? Because right now, like the chat system, there is no audio call functionality available right now. So, are you referring to a phone call during the chat system?
No. So you mentioned someone is on the chat. So I'm explaining my situation, and then it gets to a position point where then the chat is like, "Oh, do you want to connect to a live?"
Yeah, gotcha.
Live person. So that option is only available, obviously, if a company has someone, right? Or do you also provide third parties, someone taking calls? Do you get my point?
I get your point. That's a very good question. But right now the option is only available if the company has someone that should respond to the chat. But the option of offering like external customer service, it's a good option. We could think about that. To be able to do that, we'll have to be skilled or knowledgeable on what the company has to offer to be able to offer a solution from third-party companies. But for now, the option is available if the company has a customer that could connect. I mean, if they have a worker that could connect, and the worker doesn't really have to always be logged in. Once somebody wants to talk to them, they get like an email notification to know somebody's waiting to connect. But right now, somebody has to be there to respond. And the company could decide and say, hey, we don't have anybody, just want it to be an AI solution that responds to a question. No connecting to a worker. Some companies do that. They don't have time to answer questions. They could just use the AI version of it. No personal touch.
Okay.
But the personal touch is available for only companies that have workers to respond.
Okay. Last question, promise.
No worries.
The
Ask us the
solution
questions you have. It's okay.
Yeah, especially with
Yeah.
the software, there's a lot of questions need to be answered. So the last question would be about the data you mentioned, not data protection, but the data that is in that's fed to the software.
Yes.
So, for example, say I'm an NGO
Yes.
located in, let me just use Uganda, for example.
Yes. Yes.
And I have a website. Someone goes on the page, asks a question. The data in the
back
data
end.
in the software, in the
Yes.
back end, who is it you putting the data, or where's the data coming from?
Good question. So every company has an access to their backend, and they're able to edit data or include data as they want. Of course, with our guidance, we can tell them what to write, how to formulate it, how to just put it. But actually, they are responsible for feeding their software with data. So whoever has access to the backend, they do the feeding. So if we go to the setting,
Okay.
Anybody who has a login access can type in here and save it. And now
Okay.
the chatbot has access to new data or updated data.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So I'm asking to know what type of customer I would be able to offer your software to.
Yes.
Because, for
Yes.
example, if I was to give it to a church, like a church, maybe they don't have someone at the back end or stuff like that. Wanted to know if there will be someone who they could recommend to put in the data for them. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, what we could do, like the first stage of the installation, we work together with the church, the company, hand in hand to feed in the data. But every future updates, they could say, hey, help us make an update, and we will do it for them. But we're not really there to answer questions, like talk to their clients or their customers right now, because we don't have the capacity to do that. But
Yes.
updates,
Yes.
change data, edit data, we can always do that for them if if they don't have somebody to do it. That's not a problem.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I have a question. Are you done? Hello?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes, I'm done. Thanks, I'm done.
So how long does it take to feed SmartChat as an open AI, all this data to be able to run perfectly and fine? If an NGO, a big GmbH, for example, would like to use SmartChat, how long does it take to train SmartChat to be able to function well?
Good question. So SmartiChat is only as smart as the data you feed it. It doesn't take time. Depends on how long it takes you to put together the text. Because once you put the text in here, it knows what to answer immediately. There's no waste of time.
Okay.
So it's dependent on you. You get the data from your website, from books, I don't know, wherever you have your data from. And then you just put it in here and it knows how to respond, how to formulate it. It knows how to answer in a very natural manner. That's where GPT comes into play. But it doesn't take time at all. As soon as you feed it, it responds immediately based on what you fed it with.
Okay. And that's really smart.
Yeah, SmartiChat. Yeah. Any other question? Babe, you want to add something?
No. I think if nobody has any questions, I would just leave it like that and just
Maybe I
say,
should just ask a question.
yes.
I do
Apart
have a
from,
question. Oh, sorry.
I have a question. Yeah. What if apart from us here, there are other people in other parts of the world, say in Asia or in Africa,
Yes.
who may be interested in bringing in customers?
Yes.
And and I would like to suggest that, oh, yeah, you want to bring a customer? How do I connect the person to you? I mean, because they are not directly like customer themselves.
Yes. So basically you're talking about if there's a company outside of Europe or Germany or the US that would like to use the SmartiChat solution.
Yeah, and I'm not the one connecting that company to SmartiChat, but maybe there's another person in that country.
Okay, you're talking about somebody that wants to also be a partner or an
Yes,
affiliate,
that's
also wants to sell. Yeah,
exactly.
that's what you write, my wife Ruth, and say there's a new person that is interested, and we'll link up to the person.
Great.
Yeah. So, Mr. Ono, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
All right. So, okay, just to buttress on what I understood the whole time. It basically SmartiChat, I mean, for the individual companies can be programmed to fit into whatever the company wants, right? And
Yeah.
so you can say is a type of FAQ, like frequently asked question, and whatever it can take care of, that's when a live person comes into it, right?
That's
Good.
correct.
So so that answers that. And the question that I want to ask is because of the different packages, that you have, the standard, the second one, and then the one that is linked, open for the enterprises and all of that. So
That's
what
correct.
happens in the case where someone has already subscribed, for the standard one, but wants to upgrade as soon as they notice they need more? Do they have to wait until the end of that fiscal year, or can they just upgrade immediately? And what happens to the fund that they've already paid before?
They can
Do you
connect.
understand?
Yeah, I understand. They can just reach out to us and we'll do the upgrade and just do like a calculation of what that would be extra per year. But they don't have to wait. They can just pay like the balance for the new plan and then use it up for that year.
Okay, that means they'll have to reach out to someone to be able to do
That's
the
correct.
calculation.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes. But
All
mostly they have our contact, so they can just write us an email or just go on that chat system and also write us also through the chat system, and we'll just make the upgrade for them. Yeah.
Okay. Kudos. Great job.
Thank you. All right. Any other question?
So actually, my question is a bit related to Timothy.
Okay.
Yes.
From what I understand is for now, you only offer this service in 3 different languages.
Yes.
So which means until more languages are added, for now it's only customers from either English, French, and German speaking world. Is that correct?
That's correct. But you could also refer other customers that are speaking other languages. Okay, depends on what they want. If it's a big company, saying, hey, we want a solution for us, we can, put up a translation very fast. But eventually we're going to have it in other languages, Spanish, Portuguese, even Mandarin, whatever. Like it doesn't take, we don't have to reprogram our software to do that. We just have to translate it and stuff.
I think it's on demand also.
Yeah, it's on demand.
It works. It works by demand. So right now we know we have clients in France or French speaking countries, English speaking countries, and German speaking countries. That's why we said, okay, that's the 3 languages that we are concentrating on. But for example, if I know a client, I have somebody in Sweden, I can easily, because it's on demand. Right now, we don't have anybody in Sweden, but if we would have somebody in Sweden, we can easily just translate it into Swedish. So that is not a problem. It depends on demand. It's depending on demand.
Yeah. And
so
then we
is
just
there
have
anything Oh, sorry.
No
Is
worries,
there
please.
something like on your website or on the link where, because if I go on the website and I see only Spanish, French, English, and German, then my brain will naturally assume these are the only three languages you offer. So is there any button that can indicate to somebody that there are more language possibly available based on demand? You know what I mean?
It's a good question. We don't have that right now, but I'll include that. I'm gonna put
Okay,
it
just
somewhere
yeah.
so it's clear. Yeah.
So people can, see that,
Yeah.
oh, there's an option for any other languages they don't see available yet.
Yes, we
Okay.
include it. And because we use the GPT model, it's not difficult. Just need to
Yeah.
let the model to respond in that language, and that's it. It'll respond in that language.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is really brilliant and innovative. Really good
Thank
work.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want to ask a question that how are you marketing these products? Is it only just word of mouth, or you have platforms where you've been marketing? And yeah, how are people going to know about this? Yeah.
Good question. Good question. So one of the ways of marketing is, of course, through this platform, having a call with you guys. It's a form of marketing. We know that word of mouth is one of the best marketing strategy because people trust software more if it's recommended. Um, a few people would go for a software by just browsing the internet. But like the recommendation style or platform is like the major way we are marketing the software. For example, from my previous company, the company that I used to work with, I mean, actually, I'm still in contact with my previous boss, and he's also looking into recommending this software to his own clients. Now he has clients like, a number of clients, just to say. So by recommending it to them, they would automatically want to use it because it's coming from someone that they have a connection with, relationship with, in that sense. So one of the biggest or the fastest way to grow as a software is partnership. So we plan to partner with agencies that provide website solutions or software solutions. They already have a client base. And so we connect to their clients and they get a commission. Meanwhile, we're still also doing the internet marketing, social media marketing, Google Ads and stuff. But we're still putting a lot of effort into partnerships. So that's like the major way of marketing this software.
And can I add to this too?
Yes.
We have noticed we have marketed our website, so we try to go on Google Ads and things like this, and we have noticed that people mostly click on our websites based on people referring it. So that's why we have this platform. That's why we are like, okay, connecting and asking who wants to be a partner, who wants to work with us, because you guys know people that we don't know. And it's always based on, like my husband said, based on connection. So I most likely will not go to a restaurant that I don't know and I have not heard anything good yet. I will probably most likely go to a restaurant that somebody referred me to and told me, oh yeah, go to this restaurant, it's very good. And so that's what we are trying to do here too, by bringing people, you guys, whoever is interested into the board, into this group of people, to become partners, and help us market it.
Yes. And to also add to that, when it comes to the recommendation part or the word of mouth part, at the beginning it's very important, but at some point you become like a household name or brand. People just know about you. Like, and it doesn't mean that you stop doing your marketing, but people just come to you because they've heard your name somewhere. So a lot of the big brands right now, they don't really need to do a lot of word of mouth or pay anybody to talk about them. People just talk about them for free because now they're a name, they're household, their brand. But for a
Yeah.
new software, people need to know who else is using it to be able to trust to jump on board. And that's why the partnership is very important. The word of mouth is very important in the initial stage of the marketing. And just so you know, like this can grow. Why do we use the subscription model is because that way we maintain a steady flow of income into the company. And the company is not just dependent on Aufträge or orders or contracts. A lot of us have subscriptions that we don't really use in that sense. For example, Amazon or Netflix, but you keep paying. So there's a steady flow going to that company. And as a partner, steady flow also means steady commission in that sense. You know, that's what it means. So and we also able to sustain the software. So if you have companies, for example, just 100 companies or 200 companies that are paying 59 euros per month or 159 euro per month, it compounds up to a lot of money as monthly revenue. And whoever is bringing the person in also has that monthly commission that will eventually compound, you know, depending on how much people you bring in and so on. So that's the idea behind the partnership program. So we have 10 more minutes before because we plan to close at 7:30. So please bring in your questions so we can answer them.
I have a question.
Yes.
Just in case, I mean, the whole partnership franchise, just in case I meet a big client, right? And I'm introducing the product to them, but I know that these clients will ask me a lot of questions I might not have answers for.
That's
correct.
Is
there a possibility to bring you in so that those questions that more or less I'm there, but you are the ones like really answering the question? Is there a possibility for that?
Always.
The short answer is yes. Yes.
Yes,
Wonderful.
always.
Yeah.
So that's also dear to our heart. You will be trained, and we're also going to train you in how you can sell and what you could do, what you could say. But also you need to know that you are never alone. So you can always call, you can always make up a meeting, put up a meeting and say, hey, I know somebody, I know the founder, the CEO, I'm going to bring him in and we're going to do this together. And so we're always there to help you to formulate also if you need help to formulate things. But these are all things that we can discuss and talk about in another meeting with those really who want to be partners and those that want to be on board in this. So these are things that we will talk about.
So Ruth, you're the contact person for partners.
Yes, exactly.
That's correct. Yeah.
Just wanted to.
Sorry.
Sorry.
If you don't have Ruth's contact, you can just write me and I'll link you up to her and that's it. Yeah. Yeah, you wanted to ask something or say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say something, this is quite innovative, and brilliant idea. And I was just thinking, I mean, even though we're not yet subscribed and are looking to get you partners and all of that, but like you rightly say, one of the things people react to is word of mouth. Do you also have the possibility of us leaving, a review based on what you have taught here today, because it's also part of marketing, maybe your website, Google review, or even on the SmartiChat? Is there a possibility, for something like that? Because I can imagine if every one of us here leaves, a good review, it will also help, the
brand.
The brand,
Yeah. That's a good question. And right now, SmartiChat doesn't have a review page on Google because SmartiChat is linked to the company EJCon GmbH. So it doesn't have its own individual Google page. So, but because I already have some reviews here. So to be able to put it in, you could just send me a message, what you want to say, and I'm just going to include it, with your name on the website directly. But right now, we can't do that yet through Google. You could actually leave a review for the company EJCon GmbH, but not for SmartiChat directly on Google. But whatever you send to me via message, I could just include it in that. So if you're interested in leaving something or saying something via review, just send me a text. I just put it on the website. So thank you for raising that up.
What about social media platforms? You know, those are like, I mean, marketing, like the word of mouth is basically good, but in today's world, like, you know, if we're talking about AI and all of this, like social media is really a good platform to be able to promote your business and any project. So I think like meetings like these, you know, short clips and, you know, short clips can help to push the information to get more people's eye focus on what you're doing, what the company is all about, and also educating people in this direction. So I don't know if there's a plan for that.
It's a good point. Definitely, social media is on the plan. We plan to also create some advertisements via video that we could, like animations, just to advertise, because we already have that on our website, EJCon. Like talk about what do you even call them again? Like animation videos that tell a story
Shopee
as
Film,
regards
Shopee Chat. We had those things, and we also have an
they call
Instagram
it
and a Facebook page.
They call it Eclair video of like in German was like an explainer video that is animated. You know, we can use that also to advertise. That's a good point, and we plan to go into that too.
Wow, that would be amazing.
And also, as regards who to reach out to, I already have people that are saying that this could be good for banks, you know, because they have or money transfer agencies even back in Nigeria, because they have customers and then they have a chat system that is not so good. So this can actually cut across different countries or borders, and they could use the tool from anywhere. And it's quite a good tool and a very smart one too. So it could help a lot in customer satisfaction. So it's applicable to different audiences. I just saw that my aunt from Canada connected, Auntie OJ, my mom's younger sister. Thank you for connecting, although you were driving or you're still driving, I'm not sure. But thank you for connecting. But yeah, that's it about it. Any other questions that you have? You could either ask it now or ask it later personally, whichever way you want.
I have one, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's going to be answered another time. About the compensation plan for the partners, I'd say.
Yes.
Is this the plan in the next June, maybe then, I guess? Or is it something going to be discussed personally?
Yeah, I think we'll discuss it in the next call with the people that are interested in being partners. So it's like a percentage, like I said, that you will receive as long as the customer stays subscribed. So if you have 1,000 customers, you're receiving a percentage of each customer every month, as long as they stay subscribed. But we'll talk about that in the next call with the partners. But thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you.
Any other question? We have 3 more minutes before I let you go, because you guys have been gracious to spend your time with me here on a Sunday when you could be chilling. So thank you for connecting. I don't want to keep you all too long. So we have 3 more minutes for any other question or additional input.
Yeah,
Are the payments? Oh, sorry, Izzy. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's not a question.
Yeah.
If you have a question, you can go ahead first.
It's actually not a question. It's just I mean, it's kind of a question. I was just thinking about like payments method.
Yes.
And maybe in future, you know, looking into having your own blockchain token so that you could connect it, you know, but I think that's something that would be like futuristic. So
like we're open to every idea that could improve SmartiChat. So as a partner, you could always link up to us and say, "Hey, what about this?" And we'll look into it. We'll look into including this.
Yeah.
That's the thing with software. It's never done. It's always improved and improved and improved. It's like you know, started with Facebook and then built a whole empire called Meta with the different social media platforms, and you have all this integration. So it gets better. So whatever idea you have, just send it to us and we'll look into it. Open to that.
Question.
And also if you have feedback on the website or whatever, you notice something that is off, please write me so we can improve stuff. Yes, Mr. Onu. Good question.
So payment, all are very important. You see, we're all asking questions on payment.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, the question is, what happens in the case where, I mean, you don't want to use referral, but that's what it is. You know, you tell somebody and then somebody tells somebody, and so there's like 3-4 people in between. How do you split, you know, your payment? That depends on you solely. What happens? I mean,
It's
I'm just
difficult.
thinking.
It's difficult because if the person who registered used the voucher code, the voucher code is tied to whoever referred them. If they didn't use the voucher code, then it's difficult to trace who referred them.
Fight go
So
plenty.
yeah, fight go plenty.
But it's
So
good.
it's
All
either
right, man.
it's either you can go online also and register for the company instead of letting them do it themselves. You can just say, hey, what's
All
your
right.
details? And then just put it in by that way you can also help them not to go the extra effort of having to try to register. You can do that for them, and then you ensure that your code is in there, your voucher code is in there. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I think it's 7:30. Please, any other question, you could just write me and we'll chat and we just answer it. Just short information. Please don't forget to write me or my wife after this call. Just say, hey, I'm interested in being a partner. And then we'll just organize with you all for the next call, for the next more detailed look into SmartiChat and how it looks like to be a partner. But thank you all for connecting, for being here. A lot of you have been busy the whole day and even tired also. But thank you for spending the time to connect. My brother, Uncle T from the UK, thank you for connecting.
Thank you, guys.
Connecting from different countries and just being here and spending time with us, even though you're busy. But yeah. All right. If there's nothing else, I'm just gonna say thank you and just end the call now. And feel free to contact us with any other question. All right, guys.
All right. Great
Well
project.
Have a good day. Thank you.
you.
Have a good
Bye.
day.
Bye.
Bye, Felix.
All right.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye, Felix. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye,
Good job.
Uncle P. Thank you very much.
We are
Thank
proud of
you.
you, bro.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Auntie OJ is still there, huh? I can't really hear you. Your voice sounds very distant. I think maybe because you're driving. Yeah. All right, then we'll talk later. All right. Bye.